Welcome everybody to your 3-day sneak peek into what I do as a lifestyle fitness coach with Beachbody. I've been in this business for almost 3 years. June 17th will be my 3-year mark. And what I do now as a coach is much different than what I did in the beginning. So I wanted to give you a little backstory about how I got started in this business so that you can see you don't have to have a transformation. You don't have to be this fitness expert. You don't have to know everything to get started. Let me fast forward roughly 7 years ago. I moved home from living in Las Vegas for 4 years because I got pregnant after reuniting with somebody from high school. And though I had never really imagined being pregnant before being married, it's one of those things that happened. And while I was pregnant, we ended up getting married. It was a very rushed, obvious marriage. And we didn't really know each other. My expectations going in were much different than his. Our upbringings were much different, which made our viewpoints on things much different. And the relationship ended up being very abusive mentally. A lot of things were put on my fault. During my pregnancy, I gained 80 pounds. I went from about 138 to, I think the last time I stopped weighing myself was 210 pounds. And then I had Aria. And because of how my relationship was, I was put in this single mom role very early on. In fact, he would tell me quite often, what would you do if you were a single mom? That's what I heard a lot in my marriage early on. And he was gone a lot between truck driving, hanging out with friends, partying, just really filling a part-time dad role very early on. And it really weighed on my self-confidence. You know, I was feeling outside of my body because I had this extra 50 pounds on me that I just couldn't lose, and I didn't have any support within him. So I would take Aria for walks. I would do what I could. At this time, I had no idea what Beachbody was. I had no idea about, whole at-home programs. I knew about like fitness DVDs you could do at home. I bought some from Target, like a Jillian Michaels workout and a Biggest Loser workout. It was the yoga. That was one of my favorite. I did it like a Pussycat Doll, like dance routine workout. So I knew that you could do fitness at home, but I never knew about Beachbody or the amazing programs in which I was about to embark on. A friend of mine had the original P90 workout, and I asked to borrow it. She didn't have the full program. She had one DVD. I don't know, the other part of it got lost or whatever. And the one DVD had 2 workouts on it. And just doing those 2 workouts with no weights was crazy hard. It was super challenging. I just felt out of shape. And I was sitting there doing it, and I was trying to get my husband involved, and he wouldn't get involved. And again, it is what it is. I didn't let that stop me. Hold on a second. I'm going to shut my bedroom door so I'm not distracted by all the noise. I didn't let that stop me, but I did get a sense of what Beachbody was at that point, even though, again, I didn't know. I knew Tony Horton did P90. I saw Insanity workouts being broadcasted. When I was doing the P90, I would watch a movie with my husband, like on TV or whatever, and a commercial for Insanity would come on, and I would be like, man, I really want to order that, but $100 is so much. Because I think it was like over $100 at that time or something like that. And I was trying to find something that worked for me, but I just couldn't. And again, I was, anytime he would leave, it was my fault. I just felt really trapped, and there was a lot of infidelity, verbal abuse, things like that. And needless to say, after 2 years, I packed up my daughter and I moved back in with my parents. When I moved home, I had a lot more support, but I still had that mom guilt leaving Aria. So I would do Zumba like maybe once a week. I would go to the gym. I got a gym membership, and I would go to the gym maybe once or twice a week. But then I would always make excuses too. So it wasn't once or twice a week, like consistently. It was like I would do once or twice a week, 1 week, and then the next week I would do maybe 1 day of Zumba, and then the next day. So I wasn't getting a workout in every single day, by no means. When I would go to the gym, I would feel like I need to make it worth it, and I would be there for like 2 hours. And then I'm like so pooped right now. My brain's not functioning right. So anyway, that wasn't working. So I decided to, a friend of mine found a studio called Studio Fit and Fab. It's in Wyandotte, which is a neighboring city. And I was going there for like a HIIT class once a week. And then eventually one of my friends, who is now actually a coach on my team, she started teaching. She got certified to teach PiYo. And I fell in love with PiYo at the studio. Again, I had no idea it was associated with Beachbody at all. And I didn't know what a live instructor was or anything like that. So I was falling in love with these workouts before I even knew that they were related to Beachbody and what Beachbody was. But again, it was really a wake-up call when I would take my daughter to child watch while I was doing my workout, but it was around dinner time because that was when the class I wanted to go to was scheduled, was dinner time. So I was rushing my meals. I was giving my daughter fast food for me to go work out because I wanted to be healthier. And that made no sense to me. I did it for a little while. I just remember sitting down. I went and worked out, and then I went and I picked up fast food and came home, and we were sitting there eating Taco Bell. I was drinking my pop. My daughter said, I want to drink. And I was like, no, you can't have my pop. And she said, why? And I said, because it's not good for you. And she said, well, Daddy lets me drink it. I go, well, Daddy's not a very healthy person, so I'm sorry, Mommy's not going to let you drink it. And she goes, then why are you drinking it? And right there, that was like June 15th, immediately I was like, that was it. My daughter called me out on being hypocritical. Here I am doing something healthy for me, taking steps to better me by going to working out, and yet what I was eating was crap. What I was putting in my body was crap. And it was no wonder I wasn't getting results that I wanted because I hadn't figured out how to heal me inside first. So I had hopped on Facebook, and a girl that I was following for like a year, she was doing fitness stuff on her page, and she had a little girl Aria's age, so that's why I friended her. I had seen like some sponsored thing on Facebook, so I friended her, and it was like a year I had followed her, and she had posted something about doing fitness from home and getting paid to do it. Now, when I saw that, my initial reaction wasn't, I'm going to do it and become a millionaire. Like, that was not my thought. But my thought was, well, I'm going to do these programs she's doing because she lost weight and she has a little girl Aria's age. So clearly it's something that I can make work. She says she's working out for 30 minutes at home. I mean, I could probably do that. It would require me waking up a little earlier, but I can do it because I need to lose 50 pounds. So I messaged her. I reached out. I emailed her, actually. And she told me what she was doing. She said, I'm a coach with Beachbody. I use their programs. And, if you want to get set up with the same stuff I'm using, this is what you need to get. This is going to give you the best results. And signing up as a coach would get you a discount so that you can keep with the product. I had never heard of Shakeology. I didn't know what Shakeology was, but because I had followed her for so long, I knew it was something that was legit. I had trusted her. I built that trust with her, or she built that trust with me, I should say, just by being consistent and sharing her journey. And I was like, maybe I can. You guys, single mom, a teacher, going to grad school. I had no money. I went and I asked my mom. I went and I told her, I said, I'm really serious about this. So she let me put it on her credit card. And I charged my challenge pack and signed up as a coach because that's how committed I was. That's how serious I was. Not about the business at first, but about regaining my health, becoming happier, finding that inner passion in me, being excited about life again, feeling good, being able to keep up playing with my daughter, teaching my daughter healthier things because I was a mom who breastfed. I was a mom who made her own baby food. And then Aria hit this age where I'm like, oh, I'm going to start working out again. And I started giving her fast food. Now, mind you, her dad, very unhealthy. So he was giving her all this stuff way before I was. But I felt that there was some kind of balance because at least it was only every other weekend with him. If I could keep her healthy at home, then in moderation, what she was doing there wasn't going to hugely impact her health. Well, then it became last year even more imperative because her father is in jail now. And so now she is with me 24/7. And I even more so have to be this influencer in her life of health and of, having a positive relationship with the foods that we eat. And yeah, sure, having things in moderation and acknowledging when we feel bad and what we've been doing, A couple days ago, she started complaining about her belly aching. Well, after dinner every day, because of Valentine's Day, she has this Valentine's candy laying around. So every day for the last 3 days, she's been eating candy as like a dessert after she eats her dinner. And she was complaining again, like my belly hurt. So yesterday I said, well, let's try not eating any candy and see how you feel. If you want dessert tonight, maybe you can have one of Mommy's healthy snacks. And, because for this program, there's recipes for like oatmeal cookies and things like that. And it's all clean ingredients. So I was like, let's try some, that. Let's get away from the candy. So she did. And today she said, Mommy, my belly doesn't hurt anymore. And I'm like, great. So maybe then eating candy 3 days in a row isn't a good idea for your body. And so it's all these lessons that I'm able to teach her through learning myself. And so I was like, at that time, I was like, I need to do this. I need to do this for me. I need to do this for her because she's not getting a positive influencer anywhere else when it comes to this area. My parents weren't super knowledgeable. My, growing up, my mom made me whatever I wanted to eat. And she'll fully say that. She'll be like, you didn't want to eat what I made, so I made you macaroni and cheese. I made you grilled cheese sandwiches. And I'm like, well, that's great. And look at the problem that I've had growing up. I'm not saying it's her fault by any means, but I didn't have the right relationship with food and the knowledge of food growing up. And so I'm like, this is something that I can do, not just for me, but for my daughter, so she doesn't have the same issues. So my mom let me charge the challenge pack on her credit card. And I was like, listen, Mom, I will get you the money back. I'll earn it back. I promise. I have the ability to sign people up. So I'm just going to go ask my friends. I'm just going to see who will do this with me. So the same friends who were taking me to Zumba, the same friends who were meeting up to go to the HIIT class, I just reached out and I said, hey, that's not working for me anymore because it's making me now have bad habits for Aria. And I need to do something that I can do at home before I go to work. I was a teacher working. I had to be at work at 7 o'clock. So I needed to do like a 5 a.m. workout. And so I wasn't going to wake up a half hour earlier to be able to drive back and forth to a gym. Because let's be real, a half hour of sleep sounded better than driving. So I was like, I can do these half hour workouts at home. I can wake up a half hour earlier and just go downstairs, work out, shower, and go to work. Like I can, if I was waking up at 5:30, okay, I can wake up at 5. Or if I was waking up at 5, I'm like, okay, I can wake up at 4:30. So I was like, I can do that. But waking up like an hour to an hour and a half early just wasn't happening. And once I got Aria, again, single mom, I didn't want to just leave and go to the gym for an hour and a half at night and miss more time with her. So I got a couple friends on board. They were like, absolutely, we'll do it with you. And I said, okay. I was like, well, I'll make a Facebook group page and we can all share like that we did the workouts and stuff and just kind of comment in there. And they're like, great. And so while I was like posting my workouts in there and coming up with fun ideas that I was getting, because I was then put in a team page And all these other coaches who've been coaching much longer were like saying what they were doing in these groups that they were a part of. And so I was just taking some of those ideas and using them in mine with my like 3 or 4 friends that were in my first challenge group. And I got some other people who were family who already had it, or like my mom who didn't order anything but was doing it because I had ordered it, so we were sharing. So I was like, so we were all doing it together in this little Facebook group page. Like I said, there's like 5 of us, and it was just such a fun thing. In my first month, I lost 12 pounds, and I lost, I think, like 15 inches. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy, because the Shakeology, even though I had no idea what it was so simple for me to hurry up and make and take it to work with me. So I'd work out, throw my Shakeology in a blender, and then take off to work. I was never eating breakfast before that. Or if I was stopping at McDonald's, getting my extra large Coke in the morning, Diet Coke, and I'd grab a Egg McMuffin or something with it. That was my source of caffeine because I'm not a coffee drinker. And so if I didn't have time to make breakfast in the morning prior to Beachbody, that's what I was doing, that unhealthy habit. So I was like, you know, it's a lot of money to keep ordering every month, but if I'm not eating fast food, if I'm not going out every night, if I'm not getting Taco Bell, if I'm not buying McDonald's Pops anymore, I am going to put all that money that I would normally spend, I'm going to put it in a jar, and that's what I'm going to use. And with my coach discount, it won't be as bad. So I'm like, okay, $100 a month, I can figure out how to make that happen. Some months, it was hard in the beginning. I paid my mom back, but then I was like, okay, well, now I need money for product, right? So I put it on my credit card the second month. And then after that, residual income started to compound on top of the fact that other friends wanted to get involved. My second challenge group, there was like 10 people in it, you know, the ones from the first month. Plus I found 5 more friends who wanted to get involved, who were on Facebook talking about wanting to lose weight or get healthy for a wedding or something like that. And I would just message them and I would be like, hey, I'm doing this. Like, you want to check it out? And I would literally, I had no idea about any of the other products. Literally, I just knew 21 Day Fix, I knew Shakeology, and I knew it came in a challenge pack, and that's what I ordered to sign up. So I was signing everybody up with what I signed up with because that's all I knew. So that's all I could really talk about. And if I really had a question, my team page, you know, where my coach and a ton of other coaches are at, I would type in the question there, and they would answer it. And I'd be like, great. Or I would YouTube it. Or I would go play around in my coach office and see like what videos they had on there. And there is a training section. So I would like specifically like search for the training that I needed. And that's really how I got started. My second month, I lost another 8 pounds. And within 6 months, I lost 50 pounds. And I lost almost the same in inches. It was like 40 something inches. And I've been able to hold it off, keep it off, because as new programs come out, I'm like, hey, I'm going to try that one. And so I would get that one. My first year of coaching, they didn't really have, they had Beachbody On Demand, but they didn't have the All Access. And so even if you had the On Demand, you still had to pay for new programs to get them to be able to stream it. So my first year of coaching, because I had to pay for new DVDs, I spent probably $500 in programs and products. But then an amazing thing happened. And at the end of 2016, they came out with the All Access Challenge Pack, which is what all of my clients are using now, is the Beachbody streaming. You get a whole year of it. And so literally saved $500 for me the last, you know, the second month and then the third month. Because that's what I do. A new program comes out, I try it. If like I go to try it and it's just not my thing, then they have 40 something programs on there. I'm never bored. I never, you know, I pick something that works within my time frame. There's programs that are 10 minutes. There's programs that are an hour. But I just find something that interests me. There's all genres. There's dance. So if you're a Zumba person, there's like 4 dance programs. If you're a beginner, there's beginner programs. If you're into yoga, there's yoga on there. I mean, there are so many things. And there's a whole family aspect to it. So there's kid-friendly recipes on the cooking show, and there's family workout programs where you do it with a partner, you do it with your child. And through the last almost 3 years, guys, Aria loves it. She loves working out with me. She knows stuff. She's so knowledgeable with foods. And like, I told you we had that conversation about the candy. And just she knows the difference between a treat and a snack, food. And she loves, when I started, like I said, I only knew Shakeology, but there's so many products. They have a whole performance line that I've fallen in love with. Energize has completely taken pop out of my life. I've not had pop since, aside from being at a restaurant, maybe twice in 3 years I had pop, but it was just a regular pop. It wasn't diet because I had ended up getting aspartame poisoning. That's what made detoxing and cutting out pop so hard for me. My body was literally poisoned from the sweetener. So I decided if I'm gonna just like randomly have pop a couple times a year, it's going to be just regular. And I hate drinking my calories, so I get a small one, and it satisfies that. But for 2 years now, I've been using Energize every morning, and I have not needed any other caffeine. It's my go-to. Aria, they came out last summer with a children's shake, a children's smoothie, and it's all healthy fats, fruits, vegetables, and protein. Aria isn't a picky eater, but she is picky when it comes to proteins. I'm thoroughly convinced she's going to be vegan when she gets older. So she'll drink the strawberry banana smoothie, and it just comforts me knowing, like, oh my God, you actually got like good protein today. So they have that. And so literally my house is like a Beachbody warehouse of stuff that we use. My parents drink Shakeology. I use Shakeology in the performance line. Aria uses Daily Sunshine. The great thing about Daily Sunshine this month, you guys, $30 off. You get it at Coach price. It's an amazing deal. And it's certified organic. It's non-GMO. It's vegan. It's all this stuff. It's like top of the notch. And so I'm like, girl, you can drink that all you want. And she does. She will have it almost every day of the week. So just what she's picked up. She likes being active. She'll show me her muscles and she'll tell me how strong she is. Never once has she said she's fat. First of all, she's not fat by any means. You can see her tiny little ribs. But she is strong. She's a strong bugger. And she does. She will dance around, and we will play, and we will do crazy things. And it's like, this is how I imagined me and her being, as a single mom. And we have Jake now in our life. And he's great. She adores him, and they have a great bond. But he is definitely my sleeper, you guys. If I don't kick his booty in gear, he would stay in bed and sleep all day. He's literally right now sleeping, school, or working. Our time together is very minimal. So when he has days off, I'm like, sorry, I'm not working today. So that's really how I got started. And my salary, I'll make the post in here so you guys can see. When I started that first, sorry, his ears must have been ringing, trying to call. My first month, I signed up halfway through the month. So the first 2 weeks, I earned enough money to pay my mom back. Then my second full month, like I said, I was trying to earn enough money for me to pay for my next pack and whatnot. So I had charged it, and then I earned in my first full month $300. So it paid for my stuff. Plus with that residual money coming in from the first month, I was actually able to have like a cushion to buy the following month's product. And so I didn't have to worry about that. But I just did the same thing. There's benchmarks that I was reaching for. There's goals and how many people I wanted to help a month and how many people I wanted to get on board and really talk, and help them in their health and fitness and figure out a way to help, save them money or even earn some money in all aspects of coaching and what this company has to offer. So So that's how I got started. And from there, you know, my $300 first month to after 6 months, I was making $1,000. And that's when I was like, you know what, there's growth potential like crazy in this business. So I, all the way through that school year, just hustled. And by summer, I told my mom and dad, I said, I know I'm not making a full-time income yet, but I'm making a very high part-time income. And I would like to live here a little longer and see what I can do with this. But it would require me living here a little bit longer until it's a full-time income. And they were like, they were supportive. And so I quit my teaching job. Like I said, my part-time income, I was making like around $1,000 a month after that first full year. And then Beachbody decided to innovate. And like I had mentioned, they came out with all access. Now, the one thing as why my earnings grew that first year pretty heavily, 300%, is because when somebody would finish a program, they'd want to buy another, right? So there was this constant residual income. Well, with the all access coming out, that residual wasn't happening for a year. So for 2017, you can see my earning things where it only increased a little bit from one year to the next. It was a hard, tough year. And I say this only because you guys starting out, it's going to be you need to think like I'm in this for at least a year. You need to be consistent and grow your business at least a year to see what is actually possible, because you'll have residual from product like Shakeology or Beachbody Performance, but it takes a year before somebody has to renew their Beachbody on-demand service, their all access, unless they decide to sign up with the 3-month or 6-month subscription, which are options. But I toughened it out, you guys, because I was like, I know what's possible. This is in my gut. There is no plan B. This was my only plan. I did not want to go back to teaching. I did not want to renew my license. I did not have an out. The moment that I quit teaching, I decided I'm never going back. And I committed. No matter how hard it got, I committed. And so now in January, in February, my income in the month has been combined. It's about $6,000. I've made about $3,000 in January and $3,000 in February. And it's only going to get bigger. And I'm only going to keep growing. And I would love, love, love to help you guys do the same. I am such a firm believer in being able to work out every single day for your optimal health. And I'm such a firm believer in clean eating and not doing quick fixes. Our products are all natural. There's no preservatives. There's no chemicals. There's no fillers. There's nothing. It is all, Shakeology is food. And actually in the United Kingdom, there's no tax on it because it's considered food. I forget what it's called. I don't think it's called tax there. I forgot what it's called in the UK. But it's according to, their law, it's considered food. And it should be in the United States too, because that is what it is. And then our performance line, it's, all plant-based stuff. The Energize is all plant-based. And then Recover, it's minerals and it's vitamins. There's some whey in it. But it's all clean stuff, you guys. There is nothing that I can say bad about these products. And I've seen firsthand the work that the creators do, to what lengths they go to make sure that it's the best quality products out there. And so for me, I'm like, quality over quantity. I'd rather pay more for quality than pay less and get a ton of quantity. So I'm looking for those who are ready to really just first and foremost take care of yourself. And I can help you, learn the ropes of the business and everything to get started. and hopefully it will help you go longer in your journey. It will help you stick to a lifelong, a life of health and fitness. So I'm going to hop off. Jake keeps trying to call me. Thanks, you guys, for watching.